Today I want to talk about a game that I've been playing a lot recently, and it's not a new game, but it's a game that just hit its 4th year anniversary, and the second game in the series is planned to release sometime this year. I want to talk about Insurgency. The only way I ever feel like I can describe Insurgency as the most realistic arcade FPS game I've ever played. Now, why I say that is because a lot of battles you're just going to find yourself pinpoint down in a corner with your iron sights or red dot aimed directly at a corner that you know someone's going to be rushing at. Or you could be that player rushing every corner and just decimating everyone if you know the map and your equipment well enough. Now I want to take you back a few years when I was in high school and I was playing a game a lot called Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and not many of my friends were really into the game as much as I was. So as a way to almost play an FPS with more of my friends, I bought Insurgency, and another friend of mine bought Insurgency, and this game just instantly clicked for us. And throughout my senior year we played this game about as much as I remember when he built his PC. Just basically all the time this was our go-to game to play. I am stating this because no matter what, I'll have a special place in my heart for this game. It always holds some type of nostalgic view, even though it was only a few years ago when this happened. So no matter what, this game is a little bit special to me. Moving past that, I want to talk about Insurgency, the game itself, and a little bit about the one that is coming out this year called Insurgency Sandstorm. This is easily by far my personal best if you want a gritty, more realistic style FPS. And some of the gameplay I'm showing you, there will be HUD and like a kill show thing in the top right hand. Those are purely, they go from server to server. Most servers you will go on probably won't have that. I do like that aspect though, because I still like to feel that I am playing a video game, and one of the things that I like to see is if I get a kill or not. And I know that might throw a lot of people off if you're really into that realistic style of FPS, but don't worry, most servers don't have that. FPS games have always been this way for me, to kind of escape from reality. I've always been, I'd rather say, above average at FPS games. So whenever I do go out of my way to play an FPS game, I do try my hardest to be good. There are very few times that I'm playing an FPS game and not going all out, because that's just how I am. I've played competitive games so long that it's kind of rooted, if I play an FPS game, that I need to take it seriously. And the reason why I do like the map so much is because it feels like every map has 3 different sections. The beginning map always has this very long distance, slow pushing sort of thing, but you go towards the middle of the map, and as you kind of progress through this map, whether you're attacking or defending, you're constantly seeing the map change. By the time you get to objective B, it's more of a pushing matter. You're running through small corridors with an MP5, but when you're at A, trying to take A, you had this M16 with a 2 times red dot, and you were just taking it very slow, single shot, just sort of peeking every corner slowly, and just the development of the level just feels really well done. The game modes differ in a pretty big variety. You have the basic push, where there's 3 objectives, and the defending team is just defending each objective, and every time the team that is attacking gets objective, they get another wave or 5 waves of reinforcements, and the defending team just starts out with 15. There's other game modes that just involve, King of the Hill, the very basic King of the Hill aspect. There's game modes that involve destroying caches, which I think even is in push, but it's just sort of the last objective, and by that time it's just kind of cleaning up the enemy team if you can't quite get to the cache. The last game mode I'm going to talk about briefly is called Firefight, and this is technically the competitive mode. You can play it in the non-competitive tactical operations, but it is the small competitive mode that is played competitively. Wow, that was very redundant. I just want to talk about this though, because even though the competitive base for this game is very small, it's very dedicated. If I had any more free time, I'd probably be playing a lot of pugs or pickup games with the community, but I just don't have that much free time, and whenever I'm able to play games, I always check the Discord, and there's 3 people on. But I do highly recommend, if you do enjoy this game, or if you think this game sounds interesting, go pick it up. But then also go and check out the competitive community. The ability that they've been able to hold together over all these years, with how small they are, has been amazing, and they're just dedicated. And it's a community that would definitely see growing, and it would be awesome to see them grow. Hopefully from all the video clips that are playing above, that you will see that the gunplay is very quick. It's a very sudden one shot, one kill in most situations. There are some situations where you're dealing with a weaker gun. You have to shoot them a few times from far range, but a lot of the times it is just a one click, one kill. All the guns are very, I want to say realistic. I've never shot a gun, but there's a big recoil. Shooting from the hip works maybe 10% of the time. If you're shooting from the hip, it has to be a very specific situation. You can't just run around and shoot from the hip and just get anyone. It's more of even if you're these really close quarter situations, you want to always be aiming down sight. With that all being said, I want to wrap up this video really quick by talking about Sandstorm. With the few points that have been coming out and talked about it, this game will be released in 2018 for PC, Xbox, PS4. It will be switching over to the Unreal Engine because it's going to console. It can't be on Source, but the game is including vehicles, which doesn't really strike me well. I don't like Battlefield just specifically because of the vehicles, but I think they can find a way to pull it through. Everything else is so well done in these games. I'm not too worried, but another big thing that they did talk about was expanded environment scale, and that makes sense to have that with the vehicles. I understand making the maps bigger to include vehicles, but I hope there are still these really close quarter engagements that sort of pick up the game halfway through. Instead of playing a 30 or 20 minute game, halfway through you're gonna get a little burned out, but switching up the engagements I feel like is really what keeps Insurgency going. So I hope they keep that going in Sandstorm. And that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is gonna be the first edition of my Let's Talk videos. January has been a very poor month for my uploads, and I will admit that this video will go up hopefully before the end of January, if not the beginning of February. February is when I do tend on doing the whole 4 video a month thing. I plan on having 2 Let's Talk videos and then 2 either a review or an analysis about a video game. It just depends what I'm feeling about a certain video game. But the Let's Talk series are gonna be, there's no script. I just kind of talked about a game I wanted to talk about. But at the very biggest, I want it to be a discussion. I want to hear your guys' thoughts about Insurgency. If you guys did play a lot of the original Insurgency, are you guys excited for Sandstorm? If not, let me know in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you next time. Have a good one.